Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at Starlink, specifically their big rural internet push happening, well, tomorrow, May 11th, 2025.
Right. And it's more than just, faster speeds for people outside the cities.
Exactly. It touches on how we live, societal changes, even environmental stuff.
And to help sort of frame this, we're looking back at Nicholas Carr's book, The Big Switch.
Yeah, the one Elon Musk pointed to years ago. We want to understand what this whole digital shift really looks like now in 2025.
Precisely. Carr's book, which came out way back in, 2008, it made this really interesting comparison.
Between the internet and electricity, right?
Exactly. How we went from, like, everyone having their own generator to a shared power grid. He argued the internet, digital stuff, was going the same way.
A utility model, sort of, like cloud computing, streaming.
Yeah, instead of owning the hardware or the physical media, you just access it. And that idea really helps understand the significance of Starlink now potentially offering speeds up to 300 Mbps in these underserved areas.
Okay, so May 11th, 2025. Starlink's aiming to cover, what, 80% of rural zones?
That's the goal, yeah. It's a pretty significant number.
Huge step for bridging that digital divide we always talk about. Just imagine the possibilities. More people getting access to everything online.
But there's always a but, isn't there?
There is. This progress has a flip side. We're seeing a lot of discussion, especially over on X.
About the environmental impact.
Yeah, specifically space debris, all those satellites Starlink needs.
It's this classic tension, really. Societal good versus environmental responsibility.
On one side, think about it. Maybe, say, half of rural users suddenly getting access to better education online or remote job opportunities. That's massive.
Absolutely huge potential benefits. But then you've got the environmental side. We're talking about roughly 10,000 satellites up there for Starlink alone.
That many. Wow.
Yeah. And the risk of collisions creating more debris, which then threatens other satellites, it becomes a real concern. Like a commons problem, but, in orbit.
So let's tie this back to the big switch. Carr wrote it ages ago. Musk mentioned it around 2010.
Right. Even then, Carr was highlighting these broader consequences of big technological shifts, not just the good stuff.
And it feels like now, in 2025, we're living right in the middle of that prediction. The clear upsides of connection hitting up against these, well, environmental limits or costs.
I think Carr definitely saw these kinds of complex trade-offs coming. It's a core theme.
And Musk recommending the book back then, it suggests he saw that long view too, right? The parallels between tech revolutions.
It seems likely. I mean, his whole vision for Starlink connecting the globe fits that idea of a new shared digital infrastructure, like the power grid Carr described.
And what's interesting now is seeing people on X actually referencing the book's ideas.
Yeah, using it to argue for, like, policies to manage this space debris issue. It shows that those core ideas are still incredibly relevant.
So this Starlink rollout tomorrow, May 11th, it really pulls all these threads together.
It does. It's technology. It's meeting societal needs, bridging divides.
But also bumping up against environmental awareness and these real-world limits.
And the big switch, even years later, gives us a framework, a lens, to understand Starlink's part in this whole push for digital equity in 2025 and the challenges involved.
It definitely makes you think.
Which leads to a question, really, for you listening. As these technologies like Starlink just keep expanding so rapidly, and we have these insights from works like The Big Switch, what do you think are the most critical things we need to consider long term?
To make sure that, progress and responsibility go hand in hand.
Exactly. How do we ensure technological advancement aligns with environmental stewardship in this super connected world we're building?